The best investment I've made so far is this Aputure 600X. I have been able to get multiple jobs that have paid for itself 2 times over at this point. And building out a lighting kit has been something that I didn't foresee in the future last year whenever I went back into freelancing, but it has been probably the best return on investment that I've made so far aside from my camera. So this is Ricardo. He's the DP producer who hired me out for this shoot. And a few months back, we actually worked together on a shoot that he had hired me for out in Houston. And it was a low paying shoot. I basically broke even, but at the time I really just wanted to continue to expand my network. And it's something that I think is just so important for people to know, is that when you show up and you do good work and you become trustworthy and reliable, people will continue to hire you on. Fast forward a few months, he hired me for this shoot, and I actually got to hire on a buddy of mine for this shoot as well. So at this point, he's trusting not only me, but now he's trusting my recommendation. So I'm able to bring on friends to get paid as well and to get experience. And it just worked out to show up to that shoot, even though I was breaking even, do a good job, because later on down the line, you have no idea when they're going to call you back. I did end up bringing a lot of my light kit out, but I didn't have to use most of it. In fact, I ended up using his light panel that he brought because of its size and how easy it was to kind of get and fit into all these tight places. It just quickly became apparent this was the perfect light for this scenario, and my 600 would have been way more difficult to try to mount up for this, especially with the time constraints we were under. So 90% of the lighting that took place here in the first restaurant was backlit by the light panel and then top down lit by the other light panel that I showed before. I did use the Aputure MCs whenever I needed to because they magnetized perfectly onto the cabinet when I needed it to, just to kind of light up their hand or light up the product that they were trying to show off. And I think personally the lighting looked pretty good. I think it was really nice and clean lit. It had that commercial look that you're looking for, nice and bright. It wasn't too dramatic or stylized, and so gotta say I'm pretty proud of myself for the way that it came out. This is my buddy Jake here that I was able to get hired on for this shoot. He's kind of just babysitting this top-down camera that we have that they were placing each of their flavored burgers in, and we were just kind of getting a nice commercial top-down look. So here we are at the second location. This time I didn't bring all of my stuff in because those light panels were really just kind of doing everything we needed. I did rig up my A7S III, which I was using at the other restaurant, and then I just had it ready and set up to go for this restaurant as well whenever I needed to get B-roll or just double coverage on something. So at this particular location, we were doing a lot of live customer reactions and stuff. As people were coming in to eat, Ricardo was just asking them if he could film them, maybe getting their first bite, or, you know, maybe faking like someone bringing the food out to their table and stuff like that. And so now this is something I'm really excited about. These are some shims that I got from Home Depot. They were like $2, and you get 12 of these little wooden shims, and I knew that they would come in handy. This particular moment, we were having this table that we were shooting these product shots on, and we needed it to be sturdy because he was using it for the slider. We needed to make sure that the table wasn't going to wobble or anything, and so I threw these in here right before I left because I've been keeping these on my kit. So go to Home Depot, spend $2, get you a pack of wooden shims. You won't regret it. I'm sure most of you know what this is. I think it's such a cool little gadget. It's the Edelkrone slider. I don't know what model it is or anything like that, but it's so cool that he can just, through his phone, set his A and B points, and this thing will just go back and forth. So the final lighting setup that we did was my 60X with the Light Dome Mini 2 as just a top-down lighting. 1, it's light. 2, it's battery powered. And 3, I can control it with my phone. So we just needed it to be a nice top-down light, kind of darken the background, and he was showcasing some of the burgers. These were just hero shots, stuff like that. And I think it came out looking pretty clean. So now that shoot's over, I have to get all this figured out, figure out what I'm taking to Orlando, which I'll be doing a 2-day shoot in. So obviously I'm taking the FX6, but whatever fits in this case goes with me. Whatever doesn't fit, doesn't fit.